Hello, my beautiful friends from around the world. I'm Carolee, and here I help to bring you clarity through life's toughest challenges and greatest joys. I am so grateful to bring you this message today. It was funny, before I started, I was thinking, I don't know, I'm a bit kind of feeling tired, and I wasn't sure if I was going to record something today. 22 seconds on the timer. But then I started preparing and tapping into your energy, and I just felt inspired to bring you a message today. My goal is to do at least 5 of these sessions, readings a week. And at least right now, we'll see how this evolves, right? But maybe I'll start to do lives and stuff. I don't know. We'll just see where this all goes. I did, on the last video, someone commented about healing, how to heal generational trauma, and I am a trauma specialist, body mind. I focus on the neurobiology of trauma, and I like to integrate it into our spiritual self, into our soulful selves, and healing our bodies to help people heal their bodies, to heal their minds, and so that their souls can be free. I mean, that's sort of, I think, all of the experiences and the lessons and the classes and the things that I've gone through have sort of helped me understand humanity a lot better. Because I get this idea that God, angels, even though, yes, they know us, they know our hearts, they know our intentions, they know our past, present, future, everything, right? There's something in the ethers about not understanding, not necessarily where the darkness comes from, but why humanity gets so stuck. And you have all these prophets and these light bringers and star seeds coming here to help, but it's like sometimes I look at God's like I don't understand where I went wrong, right? If you believe that God made us in his own image, or their own image, or her own image, whatever you see God as, God is imperfect. We're imperfect. And I feel like God sometimes looks at us and is like, there's so much love and compassion for us and everything that we've been through, right? Everything that we are, everything that we feel. But at the same time, just is also really sad, like a parent looking at their child who might be struggling, thinking, what happened? Like, where did I go wrong? And blaming himself or herself or whatever for mistakes, right? And we have free choice, freedom of choice, free will, but when it comes to trauma and our human bodies and the way that trauma gets stuck and dysregulates and desensitizes and holds us back, right? It demotivates us, right? Just the way that it impacts the body mind. It's fascinating because it actually limits our free will and our ability to choose our actions and thoughts and reactions, behaviors, the way that it impacts our nervous system, the way that it impacts our brains. So it's as if this perfect system, your body, your mind, the way that they integrate and work together, and the soul that sort of drives it forward, it's this beautiful construct, right? It's this beautiful they're saying bioweapon, and I don't know if that's the right term. It's not the right term, but it could be used as a weapon, right? Whatever. That's a whole other discussion for another day. But it's this perfect ecosystem, let's say. It's perfectly balanced when it's healthy, when it's optimized. But at the same time, it gets dysregulated. It gets stuck. It gets conditioned to be anything but its true self, right? And it gets conditioned in many different ways. Genetics plays a role, trauma, past life experiences, past experiences, childhood conditioning, attachment deficits with our caregivers, our environment, our surroundings, experiencing insecurities in different ways, right? There's so many ways in which our body minds get like they're saying lodged, like something is like lodged in your throat. But Dr. Mercola talks about your bioelectric current, right? The flow of energy in your body, and how trauma can get stuck in the current, and it creates a backlog or a blockage in your energy fields within your body. I don't want to go too much into the science of this stuff, right? I'm not a scientist, and that's not sort of what I do. My whole role here, I think, is to help you understand how to evolve beyond these limitations, beyond these blocks, through these very real human experiences that do affect you. It's not fair, I think, for spiritual teachers to just talk about light and love and just ascend and make different choices and heal and purge out the darkness and all that stuff, because that's not necessarily true. You don't need to purge out all of your darkness. The best thing for you to do is to make friends with your darkness. It doesn't need to be purged out of you. You don't need to completely get rid of it, because sometimes, especially in the trauma healing field, the darkness can be used to our advantage, especially when we've been really wounded in specific ways that have kept us limited, especially when we've been physically assaulted or assaulted. The darkness that comes out of those wounds can actually be used, when we use it correctly and make friends with it. We can actually use it to empower us to overcome those shadows and ascend and elevate at a faster rate. But anyway, the person had commented about how do we heal generational trauma, and so a while ago I had thought about creating these courses around healing trauma, but the thing about online courses, they just seem to be so impersonal. So what I would like to do is start to create videos around healing. So if you do have any questions around specific issues that you need help healing, especially when it comes to trauma, generational trauma, attachment deficits with caregivers or parents, right? Toxic home environments, all that kind of stuff. Write them in the comments or email me if you want, and I will get to work on creating videos or a course or something around specifically healing these things. And generational trauma is a big factor in who we are. Our ancestors, so... should I post the picture? I'll look for the picture for you, and I'll try to put it. I'm going to put this thing up here so I know where to put the picture. But there's a really great picture online that you can find, and it's like the impact of trauma on the DNA, on your nervous system, and at least 3 generations deep. So if you look at a picture of a grandmother with your mother, and then there's this interesting picture of like the 3 interconnected biologically in the body. So women, this is not just for women, but like women are born with all of their eggs in their uterus or in their fallopian tubes or in their ovaries, we're born with it, our lifetime supply of eggs in our ovaries. But if you look at, let's say, your grandmother who was pregnant with your mom, who had her ovaries, right? When your grandmother was pregnant with your mom had her ovaries inside. So your DNA, the essence of you, of your human self anyway, or half of it, was actually inside of your mother, inside of your grandmother at one point. And genetically speaking, any trauma that like your grandmother went through is going to genetically, in your nervous system also, at a cellular level, impact those 3 generations at least, and then more. So up to 7 generations I've read before. So the things that have happened in your family, and that's just genetics. That's just at a cellular level. That doesn't include the impact of the experiences, the conditioning that you experienced growing up in the environment that you grew up in, the relationship dynamics, what you learned as a child about relationships, even at a subconscious level, impacts you throughout your lives, and it carries forward compulsively throughout all of your relationships, and not just romantic. This continues through your friendships, it continues through workplaces. I mean, and it impacts you on a really huge way. So I I should have posted that picture. Hopefully I remembered, so that you can get a visual of like how biologically we are so connected to our ancestors, and how any trauma that they've experienced that has impacted and dysregulated their nervous system, impacted their nervous system, is biologically impacting these other generations, right? And that kind of continues until you break that cycle. And so I will promise to do more videos and make them nicely researched and packaged and, like, you know, presented to you to help you. I'm just not sure exactly how the format's going to be, but I do want to bring those types of videos to you, and then to help you not only heal from those traumas, from the generational wounds that you've experienced and that your family has experienced, but to break through those patterns and align with your soul, because we can't align with our true and authentic selves until we've done the healing work that needs to be done in order to even become aware of who we actually are, because trauma literally blocks us from our true and authentic selves. It blocks us from self-awareness, in so many different ways. But like, that's something that we'll get into in the future, and that's something that I really want to build for you guys. So again, if you have any questions, anything specific that you want help with, I do want to start making more videos and building courses and things around those questions specifically to help you heal. And also a note on healing is a continuum, right? It's never completely finished. So I like to focus on integration. So let's like integrate healing, integration. Let's integrate our past experiences with who we are today, because those experiences have shaped you and brought you to this point in your life, and they're never going to completely go away, I guess, unless you have some sort of lobotomy or something, which you're not going to do. So how do we integrate those experiences with your present self so that you can align with your true and authentic self, so that you can become the future you that you really are destined to be, that you're meant to be, that you want to be, right? So let's work on that together. That's a long intro, and I didn't mean to go off on you like that, but I think it goes along with the messages that I was getting today. As I was preparing to record this video, I was hearing triumph or triumphant, and then I wrote down like over evil. And I don't want to go too much into the darkness, into the evil, right? 222 on the timer, but there is this energy of triumph in the air, at least today. Maybe it's me, but maybe it's the sunshine and it's just a beautiful day here, even though it's, you know, mid-November almost, or I guess it is mid-November now, but I wasn't feeling that earlier. So I think this is just your energy, this energy of triumph over evil, over darkness, over wounds, over the past, or whatever that means for you. I wrote down like triumph with self-love, triumph with divine love. I wrote self-faith, or faith in yourself, faith in the divine, because one begets the other, right? Choices beget opportunity is what they were saying. So making new choices will bring you in new opportunities, but in order to make new choices, you have to change the way that you make those choices, change the choices that you make in order to change the outcome of what's happening in your life. If things aren't going your way, then different choices need to be made. A different environment needs to happen. Surrounding yourself with different people, places, and things needs to occur in order to create the environment that will reinforce new choices and support those new choices that will create new opportunities, whatever that is for you. What else did I write down here? I wrote that after, and then over here I wrote something about self-righteousness, fear of being self-righteousness, and the fear of being self-righteousness is actually the fear of being loved, seen, is the fear of being vulnerable, and self-righteousness is just this like self-protection, just like sarcasm. I remember someone said to me once, sarcasm is the lowest form of humor, but sarcasm is just a self-defense mechanism, or a coping strategy in maybe awkward social situations. And that's fear of being seen, fear of being vulnerable, fear of connecting with other people. And that fear comes from not having that connection, not having experienced that attunement. And attunement is sort of like when Avatar when they look at each other and like, I see you, like I really actually truly see you, everything about you. I see your heart, I see your soul, I see your mind, I see your past, I see your present. I see who you are, the essence of you, right? That's what attunement is. Being able to, and your parents, if they were properly, or caregivers, when you were young, if they were properly attuned to you, they would have been able to see when things were off, see and anticipate your needs before you even understood what your needs were, right? And we didn't all experience that. And that comes from our parents, and this was a part of what generational trauma is, who grew up in environments that were not attuned to, that they weren't attuned to, they weren't seen, they weren't valued. They were, children at a time when children were meant to be seen and not heard, right? I'm hearing workhorses, right? And the things are changing, generations are changing, families are changing, but not always with intention, right? I know a lot of people who, even though all the research is out there on trauma and attachment and all that, parenting books galore, right? But how many people actually do the reading, do the research, and then not only do the research, but then implement the lessons that they learn or the things that they read into their lives, into their parenting styles, into the way they communicate and connect, even into that conscious, this is about like conscious awareness of yourself, of your soul, of your environment, of how you became who you are today. A really good book to start with if you're interested. And again, whatever you think about Oprah, I have mixed feelings about Oprah, but whatever you think about her, the book that she did with Dr. What's his name? Dr. Peter, not Peter Levine. Why is his name escaping me? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. It's called What Happened to You? Is it What Happened to You? Yeah, What Happened to You? Or, oh my God, I'm so sorry. It's such a good book. I listened to the audiobook. It's really good. It's done like an interview style. It'll pop into my mind. His name will pop into my mind. But it really helps people understand, and it'll help you understand that you are not what happened to you, because a lot of us, people in this world, a lot of us feeling insecure, feeling as though we don't matter, feeling as though we're not good enough, feeling as though nothing that we ever do is good enough. And then questioning what's wrong with me, and the book tries to answer the question. It's not what's wrong with you, it's what happened to you. What happened to you to make you who you are today? And knowing that you are not what happened to you, you are who you are because of things that occurred, because of experiences that you had, because of family trauma that happened. Knowing and being aware that those things impacted who you are at a cellular level gives you the ability to take back control and make the changes that you need to make in order to become the person that you need to be. So I think it's What Happened to You. Oprah, what's his name? He's such a great speaker. Like, his work is so amazing. He used to work, I think, with either the CIA or the FBI as a child psychologist, and he interviewed and helped work with children who experienced like major big violent traumas. But his work is great. Okay, and then they were talking about, or God was talking about, denial is God's protection, and that's pretty common knowledge in the spiritual community. Like, sometimes denial or not getting what you want is actually God protecting you. But don't forget that denial, self-denial, like when you deny yourself and then you see the fallout, the tower moments that come from your own self-denial, when you deny something or you reject something or you turn your back on something, especially when it is actually a gift from God for you, that denial is self-protection, and that's usually through fear. Now, that's only when you're like not intentionally, subconsciously sort of denying yourself out of fear. Not that you're denying yourself something because you know what's right for you and this situation is not right for you and you're denying it. That's not what I'm talking about. This is about feeling afraid or feeling not good enough or feeling like you won't be able to keep it up, or that like fear of being an imposter or an imposter syndrome, let's say. When you deny yourself success, that's not because you don't deserve it, or you're not worthy of it, or you're not good enough for it. It's because you fear success in some way, or you feel falling from grace. I'm hearing 222 on the clock. I've been saying 222 like ridiculous, and it's 222 is about connections and communication and relationships, yes, but also about miracles and God's guidance, the guidance from the divine spirit guides around you, angel, especially angels. I find that 222 is like an angel message as well. The angels guiding you, but also about manifestations, manifesting abundance, good luck, even for some. I think it's interesting, with tarot readers and spiritual workers who do a lot of love readings, their YouTube channels blow up really fast, right? Because at the core of us, we all just want love and connection. It's not always about the money, right? We think the money is going to satisfy us, but at the root of it all, we just want to be loved. And that's why there's so many, millionaires, billionaires who are actually really sad and alone and use power and control to dominate other people because they think that power and control is going to get them love and respect. But at their core, they're still really wounded and hurting and hurt other people because they feel that way. Because at the core of it, love is the most important thing. The love for yourself, the love of other people, the love of the divine, right? The energy of love is creation. And the essence of life is about creation. So love is really the most important thing. And with love, self-love, self-respect comes miracles, right? Oh, and then God was saying, God can't deliver what you fear, and you are special in the eyes of the Lord. So if you are afraid of what it is that you want, and you're finding that you're not able to manifest something, well, are you afraid of it in some way? Is there something blocking you, specifically fear, of some kind, or not, or even, especially for traumatized people with attachment deficits? You crave love. Humans, we need it. We need it for our own survival. Babies die without being loved and held. But if you were abused in some way or denied love and affection in some way, love can be a terrifying thing. I'm not going to go too much into that right now, they're saying, but I think it's just more about validation for you. Let's go into this oracle deck first, the Yogic path. I really don't use this deck very often. It's so beautiful, I don't even want to play with it. I'm going to have to look up some of the terms. It's been so long. My yoga teacher days were so long ago. Wata. This could be your essence, right? People like Vata. I know that the V in Hindu is very like a W, like Vata, but it's Vata. Are very like intense. Oh my God! And then Pitta and then Asana. Okay, so Vata and Pitta. So we have two of the what are they called? And then Asana, which is the physical movement that you see, like what we know here as yoga is the asana practice, is the movement, the exercise practice to moving the body. But we have Vata and Pitta, which are, what are they called? I have to look some of these. There it is. In Ayurveda, the doshas, that's what they are, sorry. Took me a bit there. In Ayurvedic medicine, this is like the essence of who you are, right? It's kind of like a swords. In the tarot, it's like swords or cups or or fire energy, like the energy of who you are, in Ayurvedic medicine. So Vata is the airy dosha, creative, imaginative, and unpredictable. So this is like the sword suit. So if you, let's say, are a queen of swords, this might be you, right? And these all came in the upright. I will read it just quickly, and we'll talk about the essence of these energies and how they apply, perhaps, to whatever it is that the message is today. I really felt called to use these cards. So let's see here. This might be your dosha. And this is like the essence, the energy of your energy. And in Ayurvedic medicine, an Ayurvedic doctor will look at what your dosha is and then prescribe maybe a certain type of diet or different types of exercises, in the same way that, like, I don't know if you see on YouTube that guy, the ad that's always running, the guy who's like, you need to know your body type. This is what that is. This is like if you're a muscular type or a skinny type or this type. This is the same thing, but in the Ayurvedic medicine. This is like your body type, but it also includes like the essence of you, your energy body as well. And then they prescribe different types of eating habits, different types of food, different types of exercises that go really well with this energy type, with this essence type, I'm going to call it. So upright, the Vata, creative one, and there's, if you go online, I think even I don't know, my brain is blanking out on people's names and things today. I don't know why. Anyway, if you look up your dosha type, there's quizzes online, like free quizzes you can go and take, and you can find it. And sometimes you're a balance or a mix of 2 or 3, or like a completely balanced mix of all 3. And then it'll give you advice on like foods and exercises and like even sleep patterns and stuff that are good, useful for you. Okay, so Vata. I'll show this to you again. Creative one. It is time to let your ideas flourish. You've gotten a gust of the Vata wind energy and are riding its waves out to deeper waters. Ideas are bubbling within you, and your body has become a vessel for its creative blessings. Allow yourself to dance to the rhythm or to the rhyme of your thoughts, and let them take you to higher places. The veil between the stars and earth has lifted, and the downloads you're receiving are straight from the universe. Be sure to anchor them down to this earth with action so your visions can manifest into reality. So that's Alexa off. My alarm. I always forget to turn it off when I do these. So again, that's very swords energy, like a queen of swords, king of swords. This is giving me also like knight of swords, depending on where you're at on the continuum, right? Or page of swords. They can be very in their heads. That energy is, the Vata energy is very like in the head space, in the air energy, right? But in order to manifest something, we need to ground it into the 3D through action, through intention, yes, but also through an action. It doesn't have to be a big action; it can be small actions as well. I'll read the reverse. I don't want to read too much into it. I like this line though. The veil between the stars and earth has been lifted, and the downloads you are receiving are straight from the universe. So this is, again, like, it's kind of giving me Queen of Swords energy, like being clairvoyant, being clairsentient, and just having this knowing. You're getting these downloads from the universe that inspire you to take action, that inspire you to create something, that inspire you to say something, that inspire you to imagine. All of the imaginative, all of your imaginations, your visions, your dreams, even dream downloads. This is giving me like having like a dream journal, having those visions and inspirations, writing them down in your journal, and then taking action with the Pitta energy. That's so funny. I didn't even think about that. So Pitta is another dosha. Kapha is the other one, which is more of a cups energy. But Pitta is like a fire energy. It's very fiery. And so some Ayurvedic doctors will recommend, like, if you have a lot of Pitta in your energy and it's kind of dysregulating you, to eat something cool to sort of cool your system down. There's also ways to identify different people's energy types by the way they look, their hair texture, body structure, the same thing as like the body type, right? In like personal trainers use when they try to help people build their training exercises and eating programs and stuff. Okay, Pitta. the fiery dosha, powerful, strong-willed, and feisty. Definitely Wands energy. So this is giving me Queen of Wands, King of Wands energy. Fire and water are the two most powerful elements that can create and destroy anything. Together they create Pitta, which is empowering you today. You are in a determined place in your life. You know what you want, and a fire has been set under your seat to achieve it. And again, the fire has been set under your seat to achieve it is the action. So you're getting the downloads, the inspiration from the divine, and then you're being inspired to actually take action with the Pitta energy here. You are setting goals for yourself and focused on the task at hand. So not only setting goals with the vision, but taking action to achieve the goals, 2:33 on the clock. Perhaps this is the time to emerge as a leader and teach others your strength and wisdom. You are transforming the world with your actions. Just don't lose connection with the water within you and remember to play. Kapha didn't come out, but like the remember to play energy is also this asana card, which is also about grounding your energy. So grounding these two energies into the 3D world through exercise, through your body is really, really important. And I was saying this, before I even knew who Dr. Joe Dispenza was, I had this really bad website back in the day, and I was kind of talking about this stuff. This is like almost 10 years ago now. And through this bad website and the stuff that I was putting out there, Dr. Joe Dispenza's team reached out to me and asked me to volunteer one of his workshops. So I got to go to one of his workshops for free. And I was like, I didn't even know who he was at the time. And I was like blown away because everything he was talking about was all the stuff that I was intuitively getting after my yoga teacher's training, right? After I was really heavily into all this stuff, like the yogic theory, like Raja Yoga was really important, like the knowledge, like the study of the yogic principles and yogic philosophy was really important to me, more so than the asana practice. So I volunteered at this weekend workshop with Dr. Joe Dispenza, and it was this like, oh my God, like this information is actually out there. Like I knew it through yogic philosophy and my yogic studies, but to get it in like the science was really neat to understand, like Dr. Joe Dispenza's scientific approach to like proving all these ancient theories. Not that that was his intention, but like proving it that it was all correct. But there's this need to ground your energy in order to stabilize it, I'm hearing, in order to be triumphant. So you're getting all of these downloads, these intuitive hits, and you have this passion, this fire to take action, but without grounding it into the 3D, into a system or something tangible, it can easily get lost. So how can you ground this energy, these beautiful ideas that you're getting, these downloads that you're getting, these inspirations that you're getting, and the passion, the energy, the motivation to make them come true? How can you ground them into the 3D world and actually create something that is of service to the world in whatever way, right? And being of service doesn't necessarily mean you have to create a business and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't necessarily mean that. But the essence of you, who you are, who you're meant to be, who you're destined to be in this world, right? I feel like there's this window or this door opening up to all of these possibilities, all these possible opportunities that need to be grounded through choices, right? Brought into the 3D world. So asana, should I read it? I don't know. Asana is the practice of like the physical movement of yoga. It's also about purifying the body. How can you purify the body, cleanse it, strengthen it, align it? Yoga also is very good for helping to balance out any of those traumas that are stuck in your body. The dysregulation in your nervous system kind of brings it back into homeostasis, into balance. Not just physical balance and strength, but also energetic balance. This is spirituality. Oh, this deck is so beautiful. Yoga asana. Yeah. Yoga asana. Even the book, the whole thing about this whole deck. I'm going to list the decks in the description box if you're interested, but the whole deck is beautiful. I'm not going to read the reverse, I'll just read the upright. Asana, eight stages of yoga, physical practice to sit in stillness. And so the whole idea of an asana practice is to prepare the body to be able to sit for, I think it's like 8 hours, I think is what's in the scriptures, but in contemplative meditation. Your physical body holds the key to your evolvement, but it's just, I was telling you about the story about Dr. Joe Dispenza, and so anyway, I'm going to finish that story before I go on to reading this. But I was talking to one of his people in his PR team or his marketing team. What was her name? I can't remember. And I was telling her my own theory about how the soul is using the body and the mind in order to evolve and learn and grow, right, for its own ascension, which is essentially what our soul is doing, is using our body. And that's not something that I've actually really heard anywhere else. It's just something that is my own download. It just makes complete sense to me. I mean, she was like, she looked at me and she was like, I'm gonna follow you and like watch for the work that you're going to be doing. 35 on the timer. Because not enough people, I feel, integrate the body, the human self, with the soulful self. And like, why is it that we're even here, right? I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that do talk about it, but it's like, in the spiritual community, we spend so much time trying to get out of our humanity instead of really embracing our humanity, using it to our advantage, to our soul's advantage, in order to grow and ascend and evolve, and expand the universe, which is the universe's whole purpose, right, is to expand itself through the energy that's created, or not necessarily, because energy can't be created or destroyed, but through the expansion of us. When we overcome challenges, it actually requires a lot of energy within us, and the expansion of energy to overcome challenges, and that's how the universe continues to expand, through the challenges that we face. Not just that, but like in our human realm, right? That's in our limited view, it does use the energy that we amplify through our own ascensions, through our overcoming, through our healing journeys, because it requires a great deal of energy. And Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this, is that it requires a great deal of energy on our part to break generational traumas in order to become something different, in order to make different choices. It's easy and less energetically cumbersome, I guess is the right word, to default to old patterns, right? That's easy. That doesn't require a lot of energy from us. But when we start the healing and we start making different choices, and we actually need to intentionally make choices, look at a situation and be objective and say, look, I don't like this. I don't want to be that anymore. I don't want to make those choices. I want to be this. I want to be something different. But to make those different choices requires a lot of energy to override the programming, the conditioning that our body has been conditioned with since birth, or even before birth. And it requires a lot of conscious awareness and intention, right? And that requires a lot of energy, and that's where the expansion comes from. So that's in a limited form, right? Like very basic. Your physical body holds the key to your evolvement, but it's just the first portal. The asana, yogic body postures you have been practicing have been preparing you for true asana, to sit in stillness with the truth, your truth, the essence of truth, of awareness, of being in the cosmos, of being I'm going to say cosmic being, I guess. These shapes and movements have removed the cobwebs of your limiting self, creating space for the silence of your mind's forest. You are one of those who realizes the true intention of asana, and the one paving the way for others to see this bodily practice is really just a way to come face to face with yourself. Continue to cultivate your practice and move deeper into its core purpose, flow of energy in the body for the evolution of the spirit. Ta-da! And this girl, Sahara Rose, if you don't follow her, she's absolutely inspiring and amazing and beautiful. Like just this beautiful human being, who's also a DJ, right? She's a yoga teacher, meditation teacher, spiritual guru, like, and a DJ. Like, she's just so in love with life. She's so beautiful. She's just, I think she also has a podcast. Just so full of love, like so full of love, and a great teacher. And her artwork and like this deck is beautiful. I can't say enough for it. So the whole purpose is about integrating the self in its whole and entirety. It's human self, it's spirit self, it's soulful self. So I just did a lot of talking without pulling a ton of cards. I know you guys are here. You want to see the cards. You want to see the story. But this is about the evolution of triumph. Like, how can you be triumphant? I think that's the message here today, is like guiding you to be triumphant over your former self, over challenges that you've been facing, that you have faced, over deficits of character, which I don't like to say, but like, so many of us live for so long as our not selves, as a limited version of ourselves, believing that that's all there is. And then the world that we live in is constructed around those limiting beliefs, and or vice versa. There's this world, these structures that have been created in order to keep us small. But the people who created those structures are also self-limiting. They're also small in their mind. Right? They're also small-minded. They don't necessarily have a growth mindset. And if they have a growth mindset, it's only for the purposes of keeping other people smaller than them to a certain degree. Not everybody is like that, right? There's definitely leaders, powerful people out there who don't feel that way. Richard Branson comes to mind, right? And the way that he operates his business and his company and the successes that he's had, but he really values the people. He's really for the people. Although I would question some of the associations that he has. Tony Robbins, I would say, may have been one of them at the beginning of his career. I don't know right now if he's still on that level. I think that influential people can easily get lost. And that's kind of, I would say, one of my fears, right? Like, if you become so big in these realms, whatever work that you're doing, it can be easy to be afraid of that, again, that fall from grace. If I get to that place, what happens if I make the wrong choice? Like when Brene Brown got all up in arms about Spotify and King of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles at the bottom. Okay, so I'm talking about these people, and these people come out, literally, King of Pentacles, right? Tony Robbins, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Richard Branson. This is all these people who offer their guidance and support. They're very into charity as well, giving back to the community. But then, and all of them are, but then, so what was it, Brene Brown, and what happened with Joe Rogan and the Joe Rogan podcast and all of that with COVID and blah, 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 all of that stuff, right? And people, there was this huge backlash on her for saying that she was going to pull her podcast from Spotify because of, she didn't say it was because of the Joe Rogan podcast, but the timing, right? It was too synchronistic. And so it made people question her authenticity. But I don't think, it's not necessarily about her authenticity, but it was about like her being at that certain level, and then her PR team questioning, like, you need to make a choice about who you stand behind, right? You can't be seen connected with this because it's bad for your brand. Meanwhile, she goes against all of everything that she actually believes in terms of being vulnerable and having the right to speak your truth, right? And so there was a big backlash. Even me, I was very turned off by her and that decision. And then she wrote this it was like a Facebook post sort of trying to backtrack and explain why she was doing that and trying to look at their privacy policy and blah, 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 which is like, yeah, all right, I don't believe you. It's nice. It's a way to cover your own butt, and not to take away from any of the work that she's done, because her work is very impactful, very influential, and very needed. I just think that when we get to that level of success and notoriety in those fields, and we have this PR team around us that are telling us what to do, what to say, what's best for our business, right? And then it becomes about making money, and who our investors are, right? Especially if we're like a public company, publicly traded, or we have like a board and all that stuff. Like, I don't know. I can't imagine how difficult that would be to lose control of your own brand, of your own messaging, and then to be so afraid of that fall from grace that you lose your sense of self and direction and purpose. And that's, again, a part of the construct, right, and the control. I think I just saw Hierophant at the bottom. But even, I talked about this before, like Osho, right? Osho, or the hot yoga guy. What's his name? The hot yoga guy. Right? Using their power and influence to manipulate others to get what they want. It's easy to do that. Right? Cult leaders, religious leaders, like leaders of the world, right? You reach a certain level of influence, and then that corruption, like absolute power, corrupts absolutely. So we have to keep our leaders in check. All of the leaders, not just political leaders, but all leaders need to be kept in check, either by society, and if society doesn't do it, then by God himself. It's something I do think about that. Oh, my battery's gonna... What am I doing? I'm just like pulling cards. I'm just shuffling. I'm not even asking any questions. Okay, so we have the King of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles. So giving in order to receive, right? Giving the energy and then getting that energy reciprocated back to you. How can you serve with the King of Pentacles here and the Six of Pentacles there as well? How can you serve the world, your environment, your community, your family? How can you help people see things differently? And that starts from within. When you start to see things differently, when you start to see yourself differently, when you start to look at the world differently, when you start to call things out, call people out on their misdeeds or on their misdirections, right? Which are not always intentional, right? But you're acting as a conduit of divine love. That's where that divine love comes in, right? Having faith in yourself is having faith in the divine. And I keep talking about that, but I think it's an important message that people lose track of, like, what is God versus what is us? And we are not separate from God. God is us. We are God. God moves through us. And if we don't have faith in ourselves, then we don't have faith in God, and vice versa. Not necessarily vice versa. That's not fair to say, because I don't think that everyone believes in God, and I think that's fine. I just want you to have faith in yourself. Two of Wands. Perspective. Choices. And then Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Choosing yourself over everything else. In the Vipassana meditation course that I took, one of the videos that was playing was at the end of the day, you do like a meditation, and then, or I mean the whole day is meditation, but you watch a video together, and it helps to break down the lessons of like why this meditation practice is so important. And one of the stories that they told in one of the videos was about the Buddha working with this king and queen couple, and had them both do the Vipassana meditation for 10 days or whatever it was. Both had them go into their separate spaces and doing their meditations, 47 on the timer. And they came out of the meditation and realizing, like, you know, I love you. And they said to each other, I don't know if it was the Buddha or whatever said, like, how do you feel about each other or whatever? I don't remember the exact context, but it was like, you know, both the king and queen said to each other, you know, I love you, but I love myself more. And through the act of self-love, loving yourself first and foremost, making choices from a place of self-love, no matter what, creates this opportunity to align with your true and authentic self, and creates an opportunity for divinely orchestrated opportunities and miracles to come into your life. Right? If you don't love yourself first and foremost, then you can't really give other people the love that they deserve and need as well. You're pouring from an empty cup. So the whole point of filling up your cup to love yourself, so that you can give and you can be there and you can support and you can offer guidance and support and love and whatever to the world. It's essential to love and care for yourself first. And if you are healing from traumatic experiences, then sometimes having to say no and set boundaries and limit other people's access to you is the most important thing that you can do for yourself, is an act of self-love. And other people might see it as an act of betrayal. But in order to be able to offer love, you have to first love yourself. And if you didn't learn how to love yourself, then that requires a lot of healing and inner work that needs to be done, and sitting in your grief and sitting in your pain and sitting in wounds, and limiting, again, with the limiting access to your energy, until you learn how to amplify and restore, or restore first and then amplify your own energy. And not everyone's going to understand that, especially other people who are stuck in their toxic cycles and their wounds, right? When you take back your energy from them, they get mad because they're used to having your energy to feed off of, to supplement their lack of energy, right? Because of their wounds, right? So I mean, it's a vicious cycle, and I'm just talking in circles right now, and wasn't really my intention, but the Spirit's just like, if you want to be a high priestess, you want to stand in truth, your truth, divine truth, then the work is necessary, with the Empress at the bottom of the deck. Where am I going with this, God? What are we doing here today? This is very like out in the ethers. I don't even know where to go with this right now. I wanted to bring something more like, again, like the asana practice, grounding it. How can I ground this energy for you? What is the purpose of this message, God? What is it that you want? I have to default back to the tarot because, oh no, I'll use the energy oracle deck. I think this is like one of the favorites among tarot readers. It's very to the point. Temple Path. Temple Path at the bottom of the deck. And again, that's like High Priestess. This is about like aligning yourself with Christ consciousness. Yeah. On the these fell on the floor, so I'll look at those in a sec. So we have Temple Path. The Temple Path is your door to personal healing and happiness, and your door to value. Self-value begets financial value. When you value yourself, God can send you all of the financial abundance and rewards, or abundance and rewards that you desire and deserve. But you have to value yourself first. If you can't value yourself, if you don't value yourself, then how can anyone else value you, your time, your energy, your mind, your thoughts, your ideas? It's like if they're giving you like if you go into an interview and you come prepared with this, like all of these ideas on like how the business can grow, whatever it is you're looking for. This is an example. I read a story about this. I think I can't remember where I heard it. It was either a Facebook post or something. And then that person, that company, doesn't hire you, but then uses all of the ideas that you brought to them instead of hiring you. So you have to be also very careful what you share, who you share it with, your energy, your time, your ideas, resources, because not everybody is going to be in that reciprocal energy. They're not going to be able to reciprocate to you. And there are people who will and want to take from you, steal from you, for their own gain. So learning to be decisive and protective of your own energy, learning who to trust, who to put your energy into, who to put your faith into, is really important. And in order to be able to discern who is the right fit, what's the right fit, who to trust, who not to trust, you have to be aligned with your true and authentic self. You have to be able to trust your intuition. You have to be able to decipher your intuition from fear. And there was the Draconic Priestess tarot reader, she just posted about that the other day, I think yesterday, about learning the difference between fear and intuition. Let's say with the job interview, right? Do I want this job because it's truly aligned with me and I think that this is mutually beneficial? Do I think I can excel here? Do I think I can grow here? Do I think that it's the perfect fit for my energy? Are they going to value me? Or am I just accepting this job out of fear? Or am I just going after this because out of fear? And that's not to say that we need to take jobs that we don't love, that we don't like, because we have to put food on our bellies. But at the same time, make sure that you are valuing yourself. And if you recognize that this place is not going to value you, or they don't attune to you, or they don't reciprocate the energy that you're putting in, then there are other options out there. And that's where the choices come into play, right? The right choices are going to beget the right opportunities. So starting to value yourself, and then starting from that point of valuing yourself, looking for the opportunities and asking the divine, your guides, people, right? Networking, getting to know the right people that can help you connect with the right opportunity that is going to reciprocate that energy with you. And then these fell on the floor. So we have hostilities and woman holding a heart. These fell on the floor though. Yeah, I think like not everybody has your best intentions at heart, right? Some people will abuse your good nature, your heart, your best intentions. And in order to mitigate the effects of these dangerous people, and I'm calling them dangerous people because they are dangerous to your well-being, to your mental health, emotional well-being. Look at this figure. Just notice this. She has a black heart on her arm, right? And it gives me this feeling of like wearing your heart on your sleeve. Right? Being so emotionally open and vulnerable and available can be to your detriment if you're in the wrong environments with the hostilities card here. Right? You have to be really careful about who you share your energy with, your heart with. And pay attention to how your body feels when you're around those people. I have been working a lot with my daughter on trusting the messages her body is sending her. Your body. So this is what happens. Your soul, your essence, your spirit, right, is just always vibrating. It's always around. When you are around other people or situations that trigger you or stimulate you in some way, you will, you will get a feeling in your body, in your stomach, in your heart center, before you react emotionally or mentally. Your body will tell you if this is a safe person or not before your mind does. So you have to learn to get in touch with your body, attuned with your body, feel your body before, or not before, but you have to get attuned to your body, the feeling of your body, what your body's telling you, and that is where your intuition is coming from. It's not going to come from your mind. It's going to come from your heart, your stomach, your solar plexus or your sacral chakra. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel a squeeze. It's going to say nope. And then we tend to second guess ourselves because we've been conditioned to give pieces of ourselves away in order to receive love. But that's not right. That's a video for another day. What was I talking about before all that? I got off track. Sometimes when I start channeling, downloading these messages, it's just I start talking and rambling and then I lose where I was at. You'll know because you're watching this and integrating like the messages. This is a very ethereal message. It's kind of like out there. Today's video. What cards do I want to use now? Let's see. I don't really want to go into that, Spirit, but they're saying like self-fulfilling prophecies. When you fear something and then it happens, is that this you manifesting it with the law of attraction. When you value fear rather than not value fear, but when you place your attention and focus on fear rather than on love or growth or alignment. Okay. 8 of Cups. 9 of Cups, walking away from what no longer serves you. Walk away. I think that's the essence of this message maybe for you right now, is walk away from what's no longer serving you, and so that you can align yourself with what's meant for you. And feel, it might take a bit of time, but to feel good about that choice. Not everybody deserves your energy, right? Not everybody's meant for you, and that's okay. Tower. And if you don't recognize it, God does, and God will send you this tower to make the change, because God knows what's in your heart. Spirit, source, energy, Gaia, whatever. If you don't recognize what's best for you, because God gives you free will, but if you're asking God or source, spirit, your angels, guides, whatever, for something different, for a change, but you're not willing to make the changes yourself, or you can't for whatever reason, God will come in and they're saying destroy it, shut it down, or your angels. And maybe that's what you're going through right now. Maybe that's why you need this message today. Yeah, Queen of Swords. Okay, Six of Wands. Okay, I get it. Oh, I get it now. Maybe that's what you're going through right now. Maybe what it is, Queen of Swords, and this is the Waite energy, Six of Wands. Knight of Swords, the bottom here. Maybe what it is that you're going through is you've asked for Queen of Swords, Page of Cups. Yeah, intuition. Six of Wands, the Hierophant, Ten of Pentacles. I think I'm hearing like a lot of you here are on the path to greatness. If you're here on this channel, I find that I connect with a lot of light workers that have gone through a lot of trauma, have gone through a lot of pain, and are in the stages of fulfilling their destiny or their prophecy. I'm hearing prophecy. Aligning with their prophecy or something like that, I'm hearing. What did I write? I wrote down something else here. Change because you want to change, not because someone tells you to change. That's a message for somebody there. But the devil, overcoming this devil energy, right? Partnership, maybe a partnership with the devil, because at one point maybe you decided that money and fame and popularity and whatever was more important than love and wellness and alignment and what your soul is actually wanting for you. That's something for somebody here. But if you are asking the universe, begging God, please help me, please help me, please help me, please help me. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? But you're not getting the answers through your intuition, and you're not sure what to do, and you're not taking the steps, and you're not taking the action, but you know that something's not right. You know that this isn't meant for you. God will step in. Your angels will step in, and they will create opportunities for you to grow, usually in the form of tower moments, unfortunately. If you do not make the changes yourself that you need to make, tower moments are going to come in and make the changes for you. And usually that is devastating, but through that devastation, growth can happen. Regeneration. Yeah, the devil. The devil with Temperance at the bottom. So this is a lot about healing through trauma, healing through pain. That pain, the tower happening because you were aligned with compulsions or with traumatic behaviors or traumas or behaviors and patterns and thoughts and friendships and connections and stuff that were born from out of ego or out of pain or out of wounds, trauma bonds, right? When you truly want change and you're ready for change, maybe sometimes when you're not ready, people will step in and like create these tower moments to create change in your life. Does that mean that everybody changes when those tower moments come in? Absolutely not. Sometimes it takes tower after tower after tower after tower for you to wake up. Not just you, I'm talking plurally, but like for you to wake up and realize that change needs to happen, that healing needs to happen, healing integration, to learn that you are worth more than this. There's so much else out there for you to do, for you to accomplish. That joy is real, I'm hearing. Like joy and love are real. True love is real. You have to recognize yourself. 6 of Wands. You have to recognize in yourself what God sees in you, what the divine source energy sees in you. I don't even like to say parents, because parents don't always see that in us. They don't understand us all the time. But I think that whoever you are watching this and resonating with this message, you are a powerful, influential person, very connected to the divine in your intuition. Have a message, something that needs to be spread. You're very strong in your essence, in your energy, in your words, in your voice, in your presence, the way you command attention, I'm saying, the way you command a room. You walk into a room and people like stop and stare at you, whether you recognize it or not. And it's because you are so connected to the divine. You are a spiritual powerhouse. But maybe you've just been trapped by too many dark energies, by devil energies for too long. And Spirit's saying it's time to wake up and walk away from what's no longer serving you. And if you don't walk away from this, if you don't ground this energy, and you don't walk away, then we're going to bring in some tower moments that we're going to force you to walk away, because you are destined for this 10 of Pentacles, whatever that is for you. It's part of your destiny. It's a part of your destiny to maybe be a public speaker, to be recognized around the world, or in your circle, or in a group, or whatever that is for you, whatever success means for you, triumph. This is the triumph card. The first thing I heard when I started channeling for you guys was triumph. That's a part of your destiny. You can't run from your destiny. So if you're not living up to your destiny, if you're not fulfilling your soul contract, then towers are going to come in to make you fulfill your contract. So you need to get rid of these karmic beaches. These people in your life who are toxic and dragging you down and are not a part of your soul mission. Right? Just get rid of them. I mean, Spirit will help you along the way. I have a friend who she's had a lot of trauma. She does a lot of work with death and crossing over, some mediumship, but really helping souls cross over, right? Or helping their family and friends feel okay with them crossing over. She does a lot of that work, but she's experienced a lot of her own pain and suffering. And what she's recognizing now is, as she's doing the intentional healing work, you know, not just the spiritual work, but the intentional trauma healing work, a lot of people are starting to fade away. And she was talking to me about somebody that we mutually know, and she was like, oh, this person is bothering me, like they're so negative and they're so this, and I said, that person isn't changing. You're changing. You're recognizing who they actually are right now in their trauma bonds, right? In their own trauma wounds, right? Who they are at this moment in time, not their soul, the essence of who they are, who they've become through their conditioning in this human realm. It's not them. It's you that's changing. You that's recognizing you are outgrowing those old dynamics, those old relationships. That's a good thing. But as you heal, as you align, as you grow, your circle of influence gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Unless you're like a public speaker and motivating other people, right? And that's different. But your inner circle gets a lot smaller. Fifth, look at all this communication. Fifth chakra, Archangel Gabriel. Use Archangel Gabriel to help you communicate. He's the angel of communication. Expression, expressing your ideas, your thoughts, your needs. Channeling, even if you're a channeler, if you channel God, if you're a tarot reader or spiritual speaker or speaker of truth or public speaker or even a leader of some kind. Oh my goodness. Aww. Angel of love and the woman holding a coin. Step into love, the energy of love, and abundance is yours. I could go deeper into these things because I feel like it depends, but it also depends on who you are watching this. And then fourth chakra, Archangel, oh my God, look at all these angels are around you. Archangel Raphael there for heart healing. Healing your heart is helping you to heal your heart. This could be with the woman holding a coin. This figure is very ominous to me. I always look at her and think like, ugh, I don't get a good vibe from her, even though she's like clinging to, it's like the Four of Pentacles energy, like clinging to this coin. It gives me like a wounded mother, or the mother wound. There could be something around needing to heal the mother wound, or having an honest conversation about setting boundaries with a mother figure. That could be something for some of you. And then Archangel Michael with the first chakra, the root chakra here, is here for your protection. And Archangel Michael is like a protector. I just listened to, what was her name? Can't remember. She was talking about Archangel Michael, and he's like, he's not all about light and love. He's like a killer, like a trained killer. I mean, I love Michael. I've been working with Michael for years. Archangel Michael. He's like my brother, or like a very close friend in the spirit world. But he's not funny at all. He doesn't have a sense of humor. He is definitely no muss, no fuss kind of a person, or kind of an angel. But he does have a lot of compassion, and he will protect you if you call on him. And he will protect you from your enemies, right? I'm not going to get into all of that, though, right now, because we gotta go. Gotta go 1:11 on the timer. Oh, my goodness. That went by so fast, these videos, guys. Okay. A message of healing. This is a sensual, what is this called? The sensual oracle. But it's more about self-healing and sensuality. Tapping into your sensual self for healing purposes and alignment and stuff. And I just think the messages are beautiful. The cards don't have, like these. This is your card. And it's beautiful time. Our lives will be as mundane, alienating, and distraction-filled as we allow. Time is an oppressive force when dictated by the few over the many in a bid for money and dominance. Oh my God, this is exactly what we've been talking about. The situationists use the slogan, "Live without dead time," to protest this twisted spectacle. They advocate instead for spontaneity, creativity, and breaking free of the mental prisons we place ourselves in. Action. While we need to spend a large amount of it doing things we don't want to do, like jobs that we don't want to do, like I was talking about, it's our perspective on them that's a personal choice. And I was talking about perspective and choice. Wow. As is the way we spend our time both inside and outside of those mandatory spaces. In whatever way you can, take your beautiful time back. Reclaiming my time. In so many ways, right? 222 I just saw on the timer. 1222. Wow. What's next? Let's use this one. What is next for the collective? This was such a powerful reading, but let's ground it. Like, what's next for the collective, for my collective here? What's next? And then I'll close out this reading. What's next? What do they need to know? What's their next step, I guess? What's next? What's the next what's the grounding step, I guess, that they can take here? What's next? I'm hearing recognize your self-worth. We've just been talking about that. And make an offer. Wow. Wow. Okay. Stop hiding in the shadows. Stop hiding in the shadows. 1313 on the timer. 1313. Hermit at the bottom. Transmute the painful energy through healing, through meditation, through introspection. Transmute that energy and put yourself out there. Whatever that means for you with the Knight of Cups. Put yourself out there, make an offer. Make me an offer. That's what I'm hearing, but like make an offer of whatever. A new beginning here with the Page of Pentacles. A love offer. So it depends on who you are, right? We have the Knight of Pentacles, we have the Page of Pentacles. We have the Knight of Cups, the Page of Pentacles, and the Page of Wands. So this is all Cups. What are we missing? Oh, we're missing air. We had a lot of air energy here. So you already have the idea, they're saying. You already have whatever it is that you want in your mind. It's already in your mind. I can see it in you right now. It's already in your mind. All right? Get out of your headspace. Follow your inspired incentives, motivation. Take action with the Page of Wands. With gusto, I'm hearing. put an offer together of whatever that is for you. Heart, it could be an offer for love, it can be an offer for a job, it can be an offer like putting your resume out there, whatever this is, right? Make an offer or accept an offer or be open to accepting an offer. There's something about making an offer. 444 on the timer, being protected. You are protected through this. Don't worry. Stop worrying about it and just do it already. And then the Page of Pentacles is about grounding energy. This is about new opportunities coming in. New opportunities coming in by opening up your heart with the Knight of Cups as well. Opening up your heart to new opportunities. Opening up your heart to new love. Opening up your heart to whatever the divine has for you. Open yourself up to it. Take action, whatever that means for you. If you want to start dating again, buy a new outfit for yourself. Make yourself feel good. Dress up a little bit. Put a profile together if you want to go online. Go out with some friends. I don't know. But ground that energy in something tangible that will help move you forward, propel you forward into the next step. And yeah, I think that a lot of you, there is this need for healing, but there's also a need to get out of your own way, to get out of your head and into your heart, and then into your body. Out of your head, into your heart. 555 on the timer. Big changes, tower moments that are making you, forcing you to take action, forcing you into alignment, forcing you to do the things that you are destined to be doing in this life, that you promised. You made a soul contract to be doing. So you best believe that God's going to get you on track, whether he has to take you kicking and screaming or not, right? And with that, you guys, it's been a pleasure reading for you today. Thank you so much. Again, don't forget to put your questions about like specific healing tactics and traumas and things you want to overcome in the comments, so I can start to create videos around that, and like make them well formatted, not just like me talking out of my heart and mind, kind of like off the cuff. I want to make them really succinct and impactful for you. So write your questions down below. Like the video if it resonated with you. Comment below, let me know, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Subscribe so we can stay connected and I can keep inspiring you to align with your higher self and fulfill your destiny here on this physical plane. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you soon. Bye.